We're back. Welcome to Storytime with Gia. I'm Gia. And we have a beautiful read today, Just Like Grandma by Kim Rogers and illustrated by Julie Follett. What a beautiful cover, right? Just like a grandma. All right. If you did not know Gia, she is a grandma. All right. So we're going to see what this beautiful book is saying. So let's start our reading. Do y'all have a grandma? All right. Do you have grandparents? All right. So let's see what it's talking about, and maybe you can resonate with the book. All right. On the steps of a house at the end of a street, Becca watches Grandma bead and bead muckskin moccasins. More than anything, Becca wants to be just like Grandma. Let's try, Becca says. Grandma hands her thick thread and a thin needle. Together they bead until the sun dips below the tree line, and Grandpa calls them in for corn soup. All right now. Lord willing, I'll be able to show my grandbabies how to sew, how to knit, okay? So you see, she's learning how to bead. Out of the window of a house at the end of the street, Becca watches Grandma dance barefoot near the garden, spinning around and around and around like the most beautiful butterfly Becca has ever seen. More than anything, Becca wants to be just like Grandma. Yes. Inside Grandma's studio, Becca watches Grandma paint a colorful sunrise. More than anything, Becca wants to be what? Just like Grandma. Becca sits down next to Grandma in her pretty palette. Let me try, she says. Grandma shows her brush strokes on the textured canvas. Together they paint the most spectacular sunrise anyone has ever painted until the sun dips below the tree line and Grandpa calls them in for pancakes for dinner. Oh, I love that. It's cute. At the weekend powwow, Becca watches Grandma dance fairy shawl with many other dancers who are half her age. She wins the grand prize. More than anything, Becca wants to be just like Grandma. Yes, Becca. When it's time for an intertribal, Becca says, let me try. Together, she and Grandma dance until the sun dips below the powwow arbor. And who calls them in? Grandpa. Grandpa calls them over for beans and fried bread. All right now. I know that's good. Inside a house at the end of the street, Grandma looks out the window and watches Becca all alone with her ball. Grandma sprints outside and stands next to Becca. Let me try, she says, and Becca shows her the plays she's been practicing for basketball tryouts. That's right. Gia might be a grandma, but I can dribble the basketball, okay? More than anything, Grandma wants to be just like Becca. I love that. Together they shoot hoops until the sun dips below the tree line. And who calls them in? Grandpa calls them in for tokik and white bread. All right now. They eating good and having a good time. At the school gym, Grandma and Grandpa wait in the hallway during Becca's tryouts so they don't make her nervous. Becca dribbles, shoots, and scores. She made the team. Yay! All right, Becca. Together, they high-five until the sun dips behind the gym and Grandpa takes them out for some pepperoni pizza. They all laugh and eat and celebrate Becca's win. All right, Becca. On the steps of the house at the end of the street, Becca knows that she is just like Grandma. She beating, dancing, painting, winning. Yes. Look at all of those memories that you're going to have, right? She's playing, she's eating, she's celebrating, she's spending time with her grandpa too together. Yeah, we can't forget about the grandpas. And Grandma knows that she is just like Becca, right? Because why? Because they're family. So of course, your grandbabies are going to be like you, okay? And you are going to be like your grandbabies because you're going to teach your grandbabies things that you do, right? This was a beautiful, beautiful read, all right? Just like Grandma. Now, I'm going to read this here. This is a letter from Cynthia Smith, and she says, do you have a role model? Someone who inspires you to be more like them? Maybe your role model is a parent or teacher, an auntie or uncle, a neighbor or grandparent, or other elder, okay? Role models show us what's possible for ourselves. Like Becca's grandma showed her it was possible to be, to dance, to paint. Or maybe you are a role model to a sibling, a cousin, or a friend. You might even be a role model to a grown-up. Like Becca is in inspiring grandma to play basketball, right? Elders can be loving, influential people in our lives. They are often caretakers, showing us how to nourish each other like Grandpa does for the family. Whether you have elders in your day-to-day life or only through books like this one, I hope they inspire you in wonderful ways. This picture book is beautiful, okay? And it says here, it has native-focused imprint on it. For, of course, Native, indigenous authors and illustrators. This is very, very beautiful. This book is beautiful. And this is one book that I would put on my children's bookshelf for my grandchildren. Because guess what? Just like Grandma. That's right. We're going to read how you can be just like Grandma and Grandma can be just like you. So it also has things about beadwork in the book, and it has a glossary of the different things, because they had corn soup, fried bread. It's pronounced, or I pronounced it wrong. It's pronounced do kits. Okay, so it's a meat dish. So beautiful, you see? Beautiful, beautiful read. And guess what? The colors in this book are earth tones that are beautiful. All right? And you see that? They look like Gia, right? They are my same tone of skin. That's why I love to get books that have people of color. All right? So we can see ourselves in the books. All right? So I hope y'all enjoyed Storytime with Gia today. I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed reading it to y'all. And remember, until next time, what do Gia be saying? Keep reading. All right. See you later.